Hey guys, it's Alex at Epicenter Game, and this week I'm going to be showing you how to make awesome trees. Before we get started, I just wanted to show you how ridiculous my hair gets when I don't cut it. So I'm just going to leave it like that for this episode. Boom! YouTube. Anyways, the trees that I have this week are pretty thick and full. I really hate having fake plastic run-of-the-mill stuff that you see on tables over and over and over again. You guys know this by now. So what my passion has been is breaking down the door and trying to figure out a way to make a new piece of terrain done like it's never been done before. I've had a lot of breakthroughs, but in order to make some of these full trees, first off, you need to know what trees usually look like. Now, when I got started, I started playing around trees like this, and I started using that pulverized foam crush stuff that they sell at hobby stores, which is great. It's great until it's not great. Then you realize, oh, the difference in the two makes this one now an embarrassment. I keep it on my shelf to remind me that I'm always growing in what I'm doing in terrain. But when you first start out, it's just exciting to have trees and to be able to have something that's not just the run-of-the-mill train, hobby, store stuff, you know. So anyways, what I got started with is I always start with my tempered hardwood. I did a video on this before, so you should know all about it. If you don't, go back and look at it. I did a 2x2 square. It gives it a really solid base and keeps it from tipping over. And I drill one of those holes into it. You're going to see in the bottom right there, one of the holes. That'll hold any of your twig pieces that you have. And what you're going to be looking for is outside among branches and trees and other things like that. You're going to get your handy-dandy snips that you should have for building minis and breaking apart sprues and everything like that. And you're going to snip off branches like this. Now, consider if I had taken any of these branches, which I don't see many people doing, and tried using the foam flock stuff. Well, it would be way too thick. The tree would look so ridiculously fake because there would just be bushels of stuff on there. Wouldn't look like a tree. But what I did is after carving a hole into the bottom of the base here, large enough to stick the actual branch in, I had it based up. And so it'll end up putting them together like this, and I'll show you the other one that I just did. It's fantastic. So, what ends up happening too is that I ended up looking around and trying to find a new material for my trees. Oh, hair's falling down. Get to poke it back up there. Boo! Anyways, the new material that I found for my trees is something that a lot of people don't really even know that exists, and that's when you go to hobby stores and you find in their floral section, and that's moss. This like Irish, wonderful, peat, green, crazy, different types of moss that they use for mashing down in potted plants. Well, the stuff comes in bundles like this, and as you can see, it's kind of sheeted together. Well, you can take this stuff and you can rip off nice pieces of it and wrap it around the branches of some of the pieces that you have. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take some hot glue and go along the branches and then just take some of your moss, some of the stuff like this, and just set it in and set it on there and then pull off the loose pieces. Now this one's not even glued, but you can already see it's already started to get that leafy fullness to it. Well, you're going to fray off some pieces and you're going to kind of clean it up so that you end up having something that's full but isn't falling all over the place. This one is a really good example. I love this one. And every once in a while a piece kind of sheds, but for the most part, as you can see, the hot glue, you mat the hot glue on there with the twig, and then it really ends up solidifying. Do one branch at a time, that way it doesn't solidify on you. You can work with the hot glue and use an excessive amount of moss because the hot glue is going to seep through and burn the crap out of your fingers. I've done it a billion times. I barely even feel it anymore. I feel it, but I block it out. So anyways, what you end up getting is a lot fuller tree, and I'll show you the comparisons again. You know, these thin trees that, you know, if a jet were to fly over and drop a bomb, you'd have no cover. Whereas the thicker ones like this, it's at least a little bit more believable for your guys to be able to get away with it. So you can find all these trees online that you can find that I have. I have a few of my websites, of course. I've got Epicenter Game, singular, game, epicentergame.com. All of my terrain's on there. You can order it there. I'm also on eBay under the username of Terra. Terra Terrain, like Terra, like Earth, the fantasy name, Terra Terrain. I'm also on Etsy.com under Epicenter Games as well. All of my stuff is there. You're going to be blown away by the prices, But if you have a chance, you can build it for yourself. I just love terrain and setting gamers up with a great opportunity. So go ahead, try, and send me your responses.